So there's other illegal names that you can't name your kid in Germany.
What?
You want to guess any of them?
Werner?
Yeah.
They're not all people names.
Oh.
Jesus.
All right, I'll start with this. You can't name them Batman.
Nice.
How dare you? The Dark Knight.
Is Robin okay?
Oh.
That's right. Oh, you want to raise a sidekick?
What in Tardation?
What a fun question. How do we do this? We don't know. We've never done this. We're co-headlining a bunch of shows together.
Yeah.
That is a good way to plug it.
Yeah.
About being like, hey, you guys should come see us in Ohio. We haven't done this before. Come see us do this for the first time.
For the first time.
You remember your first time, AJ?
Now squeal like a piggy. What?
Columbus!
Oh, God. No, we are 5 shows in Ohio. Fucking.
Look into the camera.
Yeah, you know them better than I do. I can name them out of order.
Yeah. In order. Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, Cambridge, Ohio, Canton, Ohio, and Toledo, Ohio. July 25th through 28th. Come see us both.
I also didn't know there was this many cities in Ohio.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Basically, somebody's like, come to Ohio. We are. They're like, what part? All of it.
Learn from you filming wise.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Probably not. I probably learn a lot from you. I'm still new to the whole filming thing.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I don't learn nothing. I'm trying.
I like how you just.
I try.
Yeah.
So you're still learning how to keep stuff out of your mustache.
That's true.
It's in
That's
there right
really
now.
I genuinely, I Google and I was Googling how to
You
trim. He gave me his shaver one time and I was
Yep.
it's tough.
I was like, I'll do it for you. He was like, don't touch my fucking lip.
What is the goal with them? Are you trying to go like to the side, like little wax mustache action?
I'm
You
gonna lie to
trying
you.
to
Do
go
like the
like
twirl?
Sam
I
Elliott?
genuinely have no idea. I don't know. It's
The
just
Doc
doing what it's
Holliday?
doing. I want it to be in the middle, so I keep kind of pushing these guys in. You feel me? I keep trying to like pinch them together. And
You
just
want
kinda,
like that straight all the way across? You want the Mike Tomlin upper lip,
I
dude?
don't know. Man.
You want the Mike
Yeah.
I
Tomlin?
don't know.
Little Mikey T?
I shave all of this. This won't grow in good, but I can get this guy.
Yeah.
I can grow in a mean one.
Don't do
here.
that. Don't do that one.
I don't think so either.
I like
could
how
do the
you.
Doc
I like how
Holliday,
you
though.
specified that
Yeah,
this
but
doesn't
don't do the
grow in like
goatee.
we couldn't
No.
tell.
Goatees are rough, I feel like.
Part of me is like, oh, I might be able to get a little something. No, I don't think I could. It just wouldn't look good.
Just keep
I'd have
shaving.
to really have to.
I have the opposite problem. I want to look into like laser hair removal under here, so I don't have to keep lining this up.
I can get neck
I
beard.
hate that too, yeah.
I can get this guy.
The neck beard.
Neck beard, it can go crazy.
Neck beard will go
If
crazy.
I just shave everything but neck beard. I just
Honest?
go down.
No, the chin strap, don't do that.
That's sad
Yeah.
whenever you see a dude that
Yeah,
only has.
This
Yo,
sucks.
I'm not gonna lie. Like the end of my senior year of high school, like up until I joined the army, I rocked the chin strap for a little bit.
Oh, man.
I was looking back at the pictures. It was not a good
Don't
look.
Didn't you also have a grill?
I also had a grill, dog. I
had a
little
couple
hoo-
grills.
I was a little hoodlum.
No way.
dude.
Oh, I was a
I was a
person.
little, yeah.
I sold my brother and I. We pawned my PSP so I could get a grill and he could get drugs. You know what? We did it with the GameCube too. If I'm being honest, we told my mom we broke the GameCube. We pawned it. And I got a grill. I got one of those like those fake ones with like the football mold in it.
Yep,
where,
yep.
like,
And you boil it, and yep, same.
Yeah, it was the red and white diamonds. I had that one. I had the all gold one. I had
I
blue and whites.
I had the all like silvers with the yellow stones and the two like fangs. Yeah.
And
I
an
had the
earring.
fang ones.
You had an earring, right?
I had both ears pierced.
Ooh.
I had the chain.
I had a different
chain.
upbringing.
Had a Jumpman chain.
Oh yeah, I had an Africa chain.
Of
What?
course you did.
Yeah.
I
Do you know
had,
the era of like the wooden necklaces?
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
had the big wooden African
The Brother
one.
Are
Ali,
you
dude.
serious?
Some earthbound
I'm
shit.
not gonna lie, I did that a little bit. I didn't have that. I didn't do the Africa.
I
dude,
used
but
to
did
hoop shirtless with the chain on.
the-
The big wooden chain.
That's
I'm gonna
crazy.
stop
It was
you right
nuts.
there, Haas. I don't do nothing shirtless. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I brought my lunch to school. Bro.
I mean, I had some of those.
I had a
some of
lunchbox.
those. I had them times.
Had a lunch.
I had cargo shorts and a lunchbox. All right, guys, I was repping it.
Are
Hey.
we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I can shut the door.
It'd be weird if we weren't.
We're gonna turn this light on.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Door is shut.
Sick. Thank you. Do we want those lights on too?
Also, real quick, just wanted
Go
to,
ahead.
since it's your studio, your signs, do you guys want to do like a crossover episode where we both post this?
Yeah, super easy.
Bet.
Fuck yes.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I didn't know if we were recording.
Yeah.
We had the,
I forgot about
Yeah.
the lights. No, oh, can you turn that other one back on, the overheads? Yeah.
That
No,
one?
not that one, the other one. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Sick.
Awesome.
Nay.
We are shit.
Dude, we've been waiting so long. This is actually the first episode we've gotten
Back.
to record.
Wait, is your mic plugged in? Was the
Yeah.
dangly? Okay.
Okay,
I just
so
saw the
yeah, no,
dangly and I
this-
was like, wait, that's.
This cord is inside of this thing.
Oh, right.
And it went
You
dead.
can't get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if we pull it out, it fucks the whole zhuzh up.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay.
I've been using zhuzh a lot.
Zhuzh.
You ever like get onto a new word and you're like, man, zhuzh and
Yeah.
schmutz.
Zhuzh and-
Smuts.
Hey, bro, you got some schmutz. You know what
Oh.
I mean?
You got a little schmeckle, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, schmeck.
What's
I catch a vibe of like just certain words and I'll just latch onto them for like 3 months. I'll just
Hey,
overdo
Do you have
them.
ADHD?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a.
bad.
I got you.
I love that we were like, yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
we all
it's a
got
lot.
ADHD, man. It's fucking
Yeah.
real.
I genuinely think it's growing up with the internet. Like I
Oh.
had pre-internet and then the internet, and it got way worse after because like you just soak up so much information all the time that your brain almost is trying to keep up. Like at every
Mhm.
turn, you're just like learning a new thing. Back in the day, they didn't learn but a couple times a day. We learn 1,000 things a day.
Yeah.
Whether you're like scrolling, you're like, Stephanie just got married, or like, oh, this person
Yeah.
releasing a
Yeah.
special. Oh, I just learned this and this and this. It's so much information. Whereas like before the internet, you only learned from the people you talked to.
Oh, yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Well, somebody posted something about this. I quote it a lot, but somebody was like, like now everybody has like 10,000 friends, but your brain isn't designed to know that more than 1,000 people exist.
Yeah.
Too much.
Like
is too much.
a good village size is literally what our brains are wired for.
And I mean, rightfully so.
Yeah.
It's because when you overlearn, bro, you can't process all that.
No.
That's why my homie, when I did AGT, he messaged me and he was like, oh man, with this newfound success and all this, and when you start getting money, you gotta invest in not like nonprofits, but he was saying like you gotta start like
Charities.
a charity.
Yeah.
And I was like, I genuinely, it's like I feel for people, but I couldn't. It wouldn't be genuine to me to give a fuck about something that isn't tangible to me, right? So it's like what I would rather do because I want to help people, but I can't help strangers because I have friends and family that I'd rather help. So I was like, if charities is something that matters to you, I'd rather give you money for you to do the charity and invest in those things because it means something to you. If I did it, it would strictly be tax break or like just a corny ass personal reason. It's not because I actually give a fuck about
Yeah.
XYZ. you
Yeah,
know?
no, I have a charity for a corny ass personal reason. I do like in my home town, I do like a toy drive show every Christmas, and we do like a big drive and like show and the whole thing. But that's just because like my parents did foster care growing up, and like there were times that like those charities showed up at our house, and they're like, "Yo, we got presents for like girls this age and a boy this age," and like
That's
we just
incredible.
want, yeah, we
It
just
is.
wanted
That's
to do
awesome.
something
See,
like that.
I have like a different thing that I have been wanting to do when I get to a place where I can afford to give back and stuff is like I want to up the pay at comedy clubs. And I'm not saying every comedy club, but at certain clubs that I've worked at and that mean a lot to me is because the pay hasn't changed and I'd
Yeah.
rather supplement the pay to be more. If this is going to be the base pay, I'd
Mhm.
rather bump that a little bit because throughout the year it doesn't really affect the club, but it affects every comic who comes
Oh,
through
yeah.
every single show. So instead of making $500-$600 on a weekend, you make $1,000. That changes a lot of road comics' life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Jay does that.
Same kind of thing. Like I want to set up like Airbnbs like in different cities, like near comedy clubs that can become like comedy
Crash houses,
condos.
yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is
Just-
that comics are gross.
No. it's
Yeah.
True.
That's the tough
But
part.
take like literally have the whole thing set up so like if like they book it, they can log on and book it, and they have like a code so it doesn't charge them money, and cleaners are gonna show up and take care of it.
Oh, where were we at? Where
Yeah.
like they were like that talking about that one comic who just like slung shit against the walls.
What?
Like,
Yeah.
shit the bed. Like
What?
Like, the guy was literally like, this guy shit the bed. And we were like, oh, it's a euphemism.
he bombed.
He bombed
Yeah.
the league. No, he did great.
Oh.
No.
He shit the bed. Oh, he actually shit the bed.
The way he was describing it was nuts because it was wild. So the actual story is this: we get to the club and it's me, him, and Harrison, and we're all just laughing, joking, fucking around, and we have the dolly to like bring stuff up in the elevator and stuff, and then we just kept the dolly in the room, and then we took like 2 dollies. And so we just had them in the hotel room, and we were telling the owner of the club, we were like, it's so funny. It's such a good bit. We were like, if they tell you that we did something weird, we did. But like, it doesn't hurt anybody. It's just such a goofy ass prank. And he goes, oh yeah, that's fine. He goes, he's like, yeah, just don't ruin the room. And we were like, no, we're not gonna like break anything or mess anything up. He goes, yeah, but like also don't like shit in the room. We were like, what? And then so he told us about this comic. He was like, yeah, a few months ago we had this guy shit the bed. Thought he bombed, and then so he was like, no, he shit in the room. And he goes, the worst part is that 2 weeks after he was at that club, this other comedy club owner called him and was like, hey, I know you just had this guy at your club recently. Did he do anything weird?
He's like a serial shitter.
He's got a calling
And he was
card.
like, now that you mention it, so the hotel that guy did that at banned the comedy club. They were like, none of your comics can stay here ever again. So they had to get a new hotel.
Yeah.
Because clubs have deals with hotels so
Yeah.
that they get a better rate because they book every single week. So yeah,
that guy's a psycho. You know that, right?
that was the
That's like
conversation.
That's a serial killer
serial killer.
sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You play with your own shit and feces and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what's nuts is that my niece has started doing that.
Shitting the bed?
Like
Playing with her
like
shit.
putting shit on the wall.
How old?
She's a psycho.
Yeah.
She's
How old? Psychopath.
yeah.
Ripe age of psycho.
How old? Institutionalized.
Like 14, 15.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, that's too old.
She's
That's
already
too old.
she's already been like
She ready to kill.
Grippy socks.
She's already been in a lot of trouble. I mean a lot. Like a lot.
Oh damn,
Dude.
man. You got
Like
it in
the
your blood.
police know her. They're like, oh, her again?
Mm.
It's coming.
She keeps shitting everywhere.
She does
Damn it, Deborah.
She does the even crazier thing too, where like when you're with her, she'll be like totally normal and totally regular, and then as soon as she gets away from you, she'll like make up lies about what happened. Like she'll be like, yeah, Grammy fucking hit me in the face or something like that. And you're like, what? We just was kicking it. We just had a good ass time. We went to Disneyland. We did all this stuff, and she's like, yeah, she threatened to kill me. And you're like, absolute lies. The
Man,
mom,
yikes.
the mom
Holy
was
shit.
so mad.
That sounds bipolar.
Because the mom has been dealing with this
Mania.
from birth,
Yeah.
right?
She just came out shitting everywhere.
It's funny. So the mom found the diary and read the diary, and the diary was wild. The diary was like, I want to burn the house down with you in it. Like some crazy shit of like, I want to kill you. And I couldn't imagine being a parent reading that about the thing that I made, raised, paid for, lost sleep over, all these things that you read that they want to kill you. Hell no, dog.
There's something kind of funny about being scared of your own kid, though.
I mean, I've seen movies. Yeah, I've been scared of other people's kids. You see a kid and you're like, that's a
Seen
shit.
The Omen?
That's,
Yeah.
Just staring at you when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when you sleep.
Ah.
You smell different when you're awake.
It's my favorite.
That's my
It's
favorite.
my favorite.
You're like, why are my feet wet? And they're just like, they're just underneath the cover.
Call me the toe sucker. It's
I
wild.
can imagine.
I hope she turns it around.
Yeah.
Have you ever
She
wanted kids?
figures it out.
Oh.
Not now.
There was a period in my life, but then I also like realized because I grew up like my parents did foster care like most of my childhood, and then my uncle got in a really bad accident like my senior year of high school. So then we were like helping take care of my cousin. So I just realized I was like, oh, I've already raised so many children.
Yeah.
You know, I've already done so much child care that like. Also,
You've put your time in.
yeah.
You've
Also,
served.
also, the more and more like my mental health has like deteriorated over time because you go 30 years undiagnosed with some shit and it fucking takes a toll. And I was like, oh, I'm probably not equipped for that. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I would have, I'd have to be the kind of like guy that would like quit everything to do it because I'd have to do it right. And it's like I'm not in a place where I could.
As
do
much
that.
as I know, you know, seeing how people do it and raise kids and whatnot, it's not a perfect science.
Oh,
You could
Yeah.
do everything by the book. You can read every statistic. You can read.
And you can have a shitter. You can have somebody that throws
have a
shit
psycho.
on the walls.
A toe licker.
It's
Fucking
all.
totally.
It's random.
Oh,
it is
yeah,
literally a
it's-
mystery
yeah.
box.
Dude, it's the same way, like, parenting is like how they talk about, like, medicine. Like, there's a reason why doctors practice medicine is because it's still, to this day, not an exact science. Like, there's a lot of shit that
It's
they
so
got.
interesting how one thing can change an entire makeup of a person, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if your kid drops something and in a moment of frustration, you've had a long day this night, you're just like, God damn it. Like, you're upset. Now they're like, now that is a thing for them. It's a trigger response. So, like, it's so crazy how one domino.
So this is wild that you bring this up because I talk about this when I do like colleges sometimes. I'll do like educational like autism talks at colleges, and the whole like myth and around like vaccines cause autism. There's like a psychological like theory that's being like worked on right now, and it's basically like in autistic people like a lot of black and white thinking, right? And so you take an autistic child who like up to this point in their life, like they're like most parents, like what do they tell their kids? Like, my job is to make sure nothing hurts you. My job is to protect you, right? When you take kids to get vaccines, most parents lie to their kids, right? They're like, it's not gonna hurt, blah, 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 blah. And so when kids actually get the physical shot, in that moment, a lot of those black and white thinking kids, their entire worldview is shattered because it's like, oh, your job is to protect me and keep me safe and not let anything hurt me. But you brought me here and that hurt me. And you like, and so it shatters a lot. And so it makes it more.
One shot makes you be like, ow, you got me hurt. Like that's a
Well,
lot.
it's not about the shot. It's about the
correlation.
It's the lie.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
because
it's the Santa Claus thing. Where it's
Exactly.
like, you lied to me for this amount of time because you don't tell kids about Santa Claus until what, 8?
Yeah.
Around there, I assume 5,
Yeah.
between 5 and 8 or whatever.
Yeah, but when you're talking about like your safety, you're talking about one of like those building blocks of like a.
But would you
psyche.
argue that safety, because at a certain time, like you know that your safety is important, but also so is your idea of what's real. So like Santa Claus could shatter your idea of reality.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you realize how long you've been lied to and how easy it was to lie to you. Pain is something that like up until that point, they've fallen on the playground. They've been injured before.
Mm-hmm.
The vaccine isn't their first injury.
It's not their first injury.
Their
but
parents brought them there.
right.
It's the
But
first
parents
time
brought them to the playground.
Yeah. Well, but it's the first time your parents, like, a lie is incorporated into that. It's like, oh, it's the first time in their worldview, the person that's supposed to keep them safe, it's the first time they've ever had the thought, oh, I can't trust you with my safety. And that's one of those worldview shattering things.
Do you think it would be better if the parents told them the truth?
Oh, yeah. Like, so that's, I talked about this with, like, when I, like, with the University of Florida at the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities, like, when they were doing my evaluations and everything, you have to bring a parent. And like your parents have their own like questionnaire thing that they have to fill out about your childhood and stuff.
Even at your age?
Yeah.
You
It'd
have
be
to bring your
interesting.
parents at 30 years old.
But
Yeah.
after the shot, once they're hurt and they're upset, right? Because they're like, oh, that sucked. It'd be interesting. It sucks because you can't really ask a kid deep questions, but to be like, do you feel lied to? Because I don't know if that's the first thought of like, you get the shot and you go, you lied to me. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's a deep level of thinking of like I think a processed brain, you'd be like, you told me this and this is actually what happened.
Mm-hmm. Well, from a psychological approach, it's similar to like being bit by a cute animal, right? Like a cat that like comes up to you purring or something like that. And then when you reach out to pet it, it's like, got you. It's from a psychological perspective, that's the same thing that happens in your brain. So it's not the conscious, like, oh, you lied to me. It's like, it's more subconsciously, it's you tricked me.
Right.
Yeah, because I never would have thought you would have done this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
Yeah, it's danger.
And, like,
And now I've associated you with danger, and that's a shatter of my worldview.
It would be
that's an autistic like trait to like still black and white. Where,
Yes.
Right.
And so, well, it's the first time you have to face that kind of.
Right.
And so a lot of autistic people, when you like with that kind, because that's like they go trauma response and turn inward. And that's when parents are like, oh, my child didn't act like this until after they got a vaccine.
So do you think that's an
Boom.
autism
So it's a
specific
correlation.
thing?
Yes, it's a correlation.
Right.
Like it's not that they just became autistic because of the vaccine.
The first shattering view. Of
It's
that
the first
moment.
shattering view that alters their
Right.
Reality.
and their trauma response is
So-
activated.
So it doesn't give you autism, it wakes it up.
yes, it doesn't
So
give
the
you
vaccine
autism. It just
unlocks your
activates it.
autism.
Yeah,
Awakens
exactly.
the beast.
Sets off the alarm.
But anything, something else could have easily too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. That's just like one of the.
So what you're saying
like,
is
they're
if you
realizing
don't
that's
get the vaccine, it doesn't wake that up, so then you don't become autistic.
Well, no, then it's something else.
So-
It's
Vaccines cause autism.
I'm not
it's the
saying-
first day of school when your parent drops you off and you're a kid crying and they go, "It's okay, nothing bad is gonna happen to you," and then you get bullied your first day.
What's the thing about
You know what I
dude.
mean? Like that kind of shit.
I have a story for my mom dropped me off for was it Sunday school, and I was like, I do not want to go, and I was screaming, and my mom was literally pulling me out of the car, like unprying my hands, and I'm screaming in front of this window. And I looked like a little demon redhead kid. I'm like, you will never, you will never fucking take me. And then I'm walking, and then finally she gets me like to the classroom. I walk in the classroom, and like the whole class is quiet. And I realize I look out the window, and I see my car. And I'm like, they all just witnessed like 15 minutes of like, no! I did not go. And the teacher was like, this is our new student.
The funniest thing is you having to just like sit down regularly in class and be like,
Oh yeah.
They'd be like, "What's up, guys?
Did you
Excited
guys,
to be here."
Terrifying,
did
dude.
you guys watch Beyblade yesterday?
Yeah. Let's learn about Jesus. Like, this is fucking awful, dude. Yeah.
Weird
But-
weather we're having today.
Yeah.
There was
All the
no
other-
fitting in at
All
that
the other
point.
kids are trying to put blocks in the thing.
They're hiding their pencils from me and shit.
Oh, God.
I was like, all right.
Surprisingly, everyone colored inside the lines.
The teacher's like, all right, nap time. You do whatever you
Yeah.
want. Whatever your love
Whatever you want.
desires.
I'm like levitating in the back. Fucking Jesus.
Everybody's watching through the window. They're like, oh, he fucking bites.
Yeah.
Oh, he bites for sure.
This is what Jesus warned us about. Yeah, dude. Oh, a little demon kid.
Oh.
It's brutal. So embarrassing though.
They're just like,
Yeah.
I don't think
So
he should
embarrassing.
be here.
Yeah.
Can he go to a different
He
class?
needs Jesus. Yeah, dude, it was bad. It was bad. I was like the badass in Sunday school.
It's so funny too. Like,
Shut up.
She probably pries you out of the car. You're walking you to the front, getting dragged. You get to the door. They've already locked it. They're in the window. We're closed today.
They've activated a school shooter drill, dude.
They call an exorcist. They start splashing me with water. I'm like, oh, man.
There's just a guy on the roof. Go away.
Dude, the worst part, I was wearing like this, like I had like suspenders on, like a bow tie and shit. It was
In
so
the
bad.
hallway, there's just a row of people locked arms. They're like, you cannot pass.
Red Rover, don't come over.
Just throw a holy water at you.
I'm like, what? It's so weird though, yeah.
Oh, they thought it was weird too.
Well, I would act like that though. I would be like very to like anybody I knew. I would be very honest, and then as soon as I got in front of a stranger, I would just mask up immediately and just be like, hi, yeah, I'll do it. I was so like had crazy manners to strangers. You know what I mean? But as soon as there was just me and my mom, I'd be like, what the fuck was that? Like, how dare you?
Crazy manners with strangers, but also crazy manners with my parents because I was gonna get the ass whooping.
Yeah.
You know?
Just trying to keep the peace.
Yeah, plus a bipolar mom, undiagnosed bipolar mom. So it's like, it might be go time without
Today
me
might
doing
be-
anything.
Yeah.
Go time. Yeah.
It might be go time. dude.
My stepdad is bipolar, and he like his medicine failed like probably a couple years ago, and he went in deep mania where he was like gardening like naked at like 4 o'clock in the morning and shit. And like
Living his best life.
he
He's
spent
like, this isn't a cucumber.
he spent $40,000 online, like his blew his entire retirement just buying like knick-knack shit.
Yeah.
He bought me like Kevin Hart tickets, like front row, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it was a kind of.
My
Like,
mom-
mom's like, you have to return those. I'm like, wait, look at this. Kevin Hart tickets.
Yeah, my mom's mania was like business, like work shit, and then disciplinarian,
Mm.
like a coke parent. But
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like if she was manic, it was like she was working like 16, 17 hours. Like she owned her own like cleaning business kind of thing.
Wow.
Damn.
That sounds like coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but never.
That sounds like
Never
Adderall.
had enough money for those. No, she was on one of those like the fin, like the weight loss stuff for a while. So
Yeah.
but it was that or like deep depressive, like not getting out of bed for weeks at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what bipolar can do. Like,
Yeah.
My mom's bipolar. When she went manic, her like thing was trying to make me girly. She failed.
That's what kept her up at night.
that's hilarious.
She would show up and she would spend like all of my child support on like these dresses that I did in bows, the biggest bows you.
my
And then she'd be like, "You're wearing this," and I'd be like,
Yeah. It's not you.
"No, I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
wearing a
you.
dress. Look at me. Come
So
on."
funny.
It's funny that like in her room she just plot and she's like, what will work? She's like, a dress, that's not working. She's like, makeup, that's not working. Fucking bows, dude, it's gotta be bows.
The big bows. The bigger the bow, the bigger the success.
Meanwhile, she's like bolo tie. Compromise.
I'm trying to put the bow here like it's a bow tie.
That's so funny. Subaru.
I think that's why my mom like left when I was 13. She just like said deuces. And it was right after I asked her if I could play football. And she was like,
She's like, that football being the breaking point is so funny.
Damn.
I can't.
Oh, damn.
Football. She just has a breakdown. Fucking football.
She did. As soon as I brought it up, she was like, "You can't go stay at your dad's anymore."
She just starts twitching. She's like, you mean cheerlead?
Cheerleading.
You mean you want to cheerlead for the football team?
I want to tackle people.
That's like the tomboy, basically, right? Back in the day, that's all I know.
Yeah.
Tomboy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
funny.
that was my favorite. Like,
Yeah.
there's two girls that I was just like, they do sports good. I like that.
Yeah.
Doug, we had a girl on my high school football team in Newberry, Christine Turner. Shout out Christine, Doug. Fucking- yeah.
I had a
Power lifter.
There's this girl
Dude,
we dated.
O-line.
We dated very briefly, it was like a week. It was in like middle school, but she was the most athletic girl. She's cute too, right? And so like everybody's like, she's faster than you, she's stronger than you, she this and that. And I was like, I know. That's dope. I was like, they're like, she could beat your ass. I was like, she could beat your ass. I was
Dude,
like,
I have talked about this before. My childhood crush was Candace Parker.
yeah.
Women's
That's,
Tennessee basketball.
Oh
dude.
no, it's not
Yeah.
Candace Parker. My friend's cousin
tall.
is Skylar Diggins.
Ooh.
You know Skylar Diggins?
Yep.
Yeah, that was his cousin. So like growing up, I like saw her, never met her, but like I saw her. And I was like, that's Skylar Diggins. That's crazy. Like one of the best female basketball players of all time.
That's
That is
wild.
pretty
wild.
I think you guys wanted to have sex with men.
Cute men.
Brother, I'm with you.
Cute men.
Dude, man.
Cute men with vaginas.
I've been doing this new.
They have
bit
those now.
About
Hey.
Yeah, trans men are up your
you
alley.
mean the ultimate?
No, I've been doing this new bit about like how I support trans people because of the science and shit, and I call like how technically every man is trans because we all start as
Start as
female
female,
embryos, and I talk about like the dudes that are like being real tough and like, no, me, I'm a real man. I was like, I had to burst your bubble, but real men are women. So when you're like, you guys want to date men? I'm like, yeah, a real man though, a woman.
I did a bit the other night that it got more of like an introspective, like people being like, oh, than it did like a big pop.
Yeah.
But I have this theory about why people have pushed back against gay people for so long. And it's not because men are afraid of men liking other men. Because you go, oh, that doesn't affect me at all. If you like another man, that's one less person to compete with. I don't give a fuck. Go fuck men, right?
Yeah.
We're afraid that women will find out that they're better suited for each other and will be extinct. Like, they will be useless. Because once women understand that, like, they don't need us and that we ain't shit, it's over, bro. Like, when dudes are in relationships, we're at our best. We work harder, we're healthier, we do all these things. And then when women are in relationships, they like almost sacrifice pieces of themselves to make sure that like the household is good.
Woo!
As far as like, you know, internally. Yeah, straight up. And then when dudes are single, we are disheveled.
You're being too honest.
Yeah.
Think of all of your single male friends, they're dog shit. Because they're just like, you want to go to the club, you want to do this, you want to do that. And you go, this guy sucks. And then you get in a relationship and you're happy and you go, oh, that part of the spectrum is dick, dude.
Yeah, dude, my bedroom was a cave and we just moved to this new house and I got a girl, so I'm trying to like decorate.
Yeah.
I'm trying to interior decorate.
We
and shit.
elevate.
Yeah.
Like our lives are exponentially better
Dude, I tell
when
her
we
that.
have women in our lives.
I've told her that. I was like you make my life better.
Yeah.
Because
That
you
is-
give
that
me a
is
reason to
exactly
give a
what
shit
happens.
about things that I don't normally give a shit about.
That is funny.
I
Yeah.
feel
So
that as a
every-
woman.
Every time I
feel-
see like a woman break up, I feel like they're like, "Whew, thank God.
Yeah,
Like they have like a
women do
weight
better.
lifted off their shoulders.
Yeah.
Men
The-
fall apart.
Yeah, well, so the spectrum does this, right? So, like, dudes immediately after a breakup think that they're living their best lives. They're like, "I'm going out. I got my freedom back. Yada yada."
And then
women
their
have
reality
well,
sets in.
Yeah, well, women have a meltdown, right? They go. I can't believe it. They cry. They have their friends over. They have like a couple nights of like absolutely being broken, and then it does this.
Yeah.
So like, and then the dudes after those couple nights of like going out and all these things, they realize, oh, I just lost the best thing that's ever happened to me, and
Yeah.
they fucking
And
they
then-
spiral.
It's sad real
It
quick.
changes.
Yeah.
It literally
Yeah.
is the exact opposite for both people. And then women will like go back to college and get their degree and do all these things. Dudes after a breakup are fucked.
Yeah.
Like it's the post breakup glow up for women.
Yeah,
like where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like they
Women
go,
get
how do
a
I
degree,
make
men lose their jobs.
Yeah.
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 well they go like, how do I make him regret this? And dudes go, how do I make her regret me? But it's like it just doesn't work out the same way.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like all my most successful moments have come right after a breakup.
Yeah. Because you figure out a way to
Yeah.
go, I need them to regret
All my
this.
worst moments came after a breakup. All the most embarrassing shit I
At
ever
our
said or
fucking
did.
lowest.
Remember the time you shit in that comedy club condo, dude?
Oh, that was not a low point. Peaks and valleys.
Stephanie.
That wasn't a low point. That was a personal best.
Yeah.
That was-
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I was the shitter.
Yeah, women are very incredible.
Yeah,
They're
like
very
I lost,
strong.
I
Powerful.
was 300 pounds, and then I got down to like I lost like 160 pounds, like right after a breakup.
Yeah.
Graduated.
It's so interesting. You know what it is? It feels like when you have to nerf a character in a video game. I feel like the only way to nerf women's like incredible traits and qualities was to make them physically, like, you know what I mean? Just less physically. That's the only difference. Is just not being able to pick up a boulder.
well,
You know what I mean?
so that's the joke I have about like real men or women. It's like there are zero news stories about dads lifting cars off of their toddlers.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that level of
You know
strength
why?
is reserved for real men.
I can make a new kid. You know what I mean? Women are
Yeah.
like, I'm raising for 9 months and I spent
Yeah.
all this money.
You lifted my body!
I refuse to do this again.
Yeah, I'm combining our strength right now.
You know how easy it is for a dude to be like, damn. All right, well, shit. You know, we didn't have to push that out. It's literally like, it's like losing some shit that you forgot you had. You
Yeah,
know, you're just,
it's like in nature how like male lions will like kill male babies. They're like, yeah, you're gonna be competition one day.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also the male line and female line thing, it's so wild how media dictates perception, right? So the idea is the male lion is the king of the jungle and all these things. And it's like all of these incredible qualities that are given to the male lion. He doesn't do shit.
Yeah,
Literally,
he
it's just
sleeps
for,
like 22 hours a day.
he's just for protection, and that's maybe a couple days out the year.
He's there for protection,
Protection
and
against
dick.
other male lions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which like
Protection
only
and dick,
happens
dude.
not often. And then women are out there hunting, feeding, birthing. Like the female lion does everything. It's essentially society, but we praise the male
Kind
lion.
of dope.
Yeah.
Nobody gets female lion tattoos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every dude with a lion tattoo
Yeah.
is always the guy. But you go, oh, you're a lazy piece of shit.
Well, but
king.
people praise the male lion because, like you were saying, media controls perception, and we live in like a fucking paternally dominated society, like a
patriarchy.
the patriarchy,
Yeah.
a man's world, and that's
Hey,
like
wow.
I feel like to most men that's the ideal living situation. Is I sleep 22 hours a day.
Fuck.
I wake up to fuck and beat the shit out of dudes.
Another dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's so interesting? It'd be like if we could rewind time and go back and look at the beginning, right? And imagine like us realizing that like women were the dominant ones, and then eventually they were like, let's let them have a couple things. You know, that they're so
Oh, no.
dumb and ignorant, this and that. And then we get a couple things and we take it too far and they go, oh, we fucked up, and then we just never gave it back.
Yeah.
We're
I was
just-
trying to write a bit
wait,
about that.
I
like-
love how you were like, I wish we could go back. It's called history.
Yeah,
It
no.
exists.
No, I'm waiting.
It gets kind of muddy.
I'm waiting
Yeah.
for an archaeologist
Yeah.
to unearth some ancient text that like women just like ran shit.
Dude,
I wouldn't be surprised at
Cleopatra.
all.
Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Cleopatra ran shit and literally started a war. Basically, it was just male lion, the Mark Anthony dude. Was like, hey, are you gonna fuck him up?
Yeah.
He said I wasn't hot. You gonna fuck him up?
She was apparently an uggo.
Bro,
yeah.
But so was
Hard to look at.
It's very interesting. I was so we've been watching Snowfall, which is just basically like the black version of Breaking Bad, and it's so funny that it genuinely is. But like there's this cartel leader. She's the woman, right? And she's gangster as fuck. And so I was telling Carly about it. I was like, yeah, this is kind of loosely based off of Griselda Blanco.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, she's this gangster. She was one of the most feared gangster women ever of all time. She's absolutely legend.
Terrifying.
And in her mind, when I was saying this, she pictured a beautiful woman.
No.
And I showed her the picture of her, and she goes, "Oh," like she was disappointed. She was like,
face.
"Oh man."
Real dog face.
She was like, "I thought this was gonna be some like hot bad bitch. It was just like out here dominating." It was like, no. It took a fucking.
Apparently, she was though. From what I understand, like a younger version of her, she was hot.
They weren't putting her at the reception
Then
desk. Do you understand?
drugs.
They were putting her in a cubicle in the back.
I heard that she was hot.
They're like, you're not the face we want our customers to walk up to.
like a 30-year lunch lady. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like
Miss
she was
Trunchbull.
just done, dude. Where you're just like, oh man, but honestly, so gangster.
Yeah.
But
Did
I
you ever watch My Name Is Earl?
Yes.
Fucking the prostitute
Yes.
from My
Yeah.
Name Is Earl?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just
imagine like
weathered.
Yeah.
imagine like a Hispanic Linnell. You're just like, oh, we fear her, but also like, you know, you fuck her because she makes you fuck her. Like she's like, you're gonna fuck me.
That's terrifying. If she had a crush on you,
You're so scared. You're like, I think Griselda likes me.
you try to be as unfuckable as possible. You're like, oh.
She's like, I like your character.
You're like dripping sauce on your shirt on purpose.
She's like, he's quirky. I like him.
She'll tell you that's what she's into.
trying to be George from Seinfeld. Just everything possible. That'd be funny. I heard she wants to fuck.
Every time you see her, you just try to suck your own dick. She's like, he's got charisma. No.
Gay.
Every time she makes eye contact with you, you just touch another man's thigh.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to keep us both alive.
She can make a gay man straight though, just out of fear. I feel like you better fuck her, dude. She's gonna kill you. Yeah, it's terrifying. That's pretty gangster though. I like that.
That was pretty gangster.
Dog face thing.
Butterface.
She's dead, right?
Yeah. You know how she got, you know what? This is how gangster she is. She died in 2012 and she got murdered. And it was like a brutal murder.
Yeah.
And she was like in her 80s or something like that, where you're like, if you're brutally murdering an 80-year-old woman,
She deserved it.
she's a gangster.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't just cyanide poison it. You can't let her go out. She was probably fighting back. And then like, yeah, well, she fucking killed me. Like,
That's
I
crazy.
couldn't see how she died. It was
That's
definitely
wild.
like a cartel murder.
Yeah, it was. I remember
She's got her
the
gun
news.
posted up on the top rail of the bunker. She's like, fuck with me if you want to.
Takes out like 6 more people before she. Fucking, ugh.
She got an armored walker, dude.
It's got guns on it.
Yeah.
She got a Pope scooter.
She was shot dead in Medellin in 2012 at the age of 69.
Look at that face though.
Home invasion.
Woo.
Oh,
Imagine. She's
dude,
gonna
she
fuck
looks
you.
like the
God.
real life. No, you buy.
She does look like a sweet old lady, doesn't she? A little bit.
I don't know. She's got a Lego head.
She looks like she makes a mean empanada.
Yeah.
Doug.
You know what I mean? You go to her house and you're like, she throw down.
That's good for her. She lived to 80 though. I mean, come on.
69.
69,
69, she was murdered.
the perfect age.
Yeah.
Gunshot wounds is cause of death. Gunshot wounds.
They lit her up.
Multiple.
They 50 cented an old lady.
Rightfully so, dude. At a certain point, that's how you want to go out. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug, that Gran Torino shit.
Mm.
I love that movie.
It's such a good movie.
Which
The
one's
best-
that one?
It's cool.
The one where
Clint
Clint
Eastwood?
Eastwood plays himself.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the one
yeah.
where he becomes unracist against
Aw,
the
man.
like a Filipino
What's
family.
the other one? The Breaking Bad one. I always get those confused. El Camino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gran Torino is the racist.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's him becoming unracist is so funny.
Unracist only against that Asian family. He still
just
hated
one.
black people, dude. That's like literally the point of the movie. He's like he became unracist this way.
Yeah,
But
all
didn't
because
he
of one
killed a bunch of
Asian boy.
Asians at the end, though, right?
No,
No.
he pump faked like he was reaching for a gun. It was just the lighter, so they killed him. So they'd all
So
go
the
to jail.
black gang killed him, so it would get them out of the
black.
neighborhood.
I thought they were Asians.
Oh, it was
It was
Asian.
other
It was
Asians,
Asian. Yeah.
We were dragging
Which
black
one?
people in this for
No.
reason.
I mix Gran Torino up with the mule.
Yeah.
And that's the one where he like punks that black gang that's fucking with the girl.
Damn, which one came first?
Gran Torino was
yeah.
first.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
The mule is like
He's
one
in
of his
both
most
of them.
recent ones.
Yeah.
right?
Clint Eastwood's in the both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is his problem?
No. He's just writing movies about himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just gets to play an old racist.
Does he
white
say the
dude.
N-word? Because he says a lot of like.
Oh, he says a lot of racial slurs in Gran Torino.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like,
It's almost like he wrote more into the script.
yeah. He's
He's like,
ad-libbing.
"There's not enough."
He wrote the whole script, but he's like, I know this is. I'm gonna ad lib some
He's
extra.
gonna ad-lib a lot. Yeah.
They're like, Clint, this
Hey,
wasn't
I'm
in
gonna
the
just
script.
riff for a minute.
And there's like this Asian dude just staring at him like from the other side of the scene, being like, "What?"
There'd be something so funny about the deleted scenes, or just him doing more racial slurs
Yeah.
that they cut out.
He's like trying to motivate himself. He's like, hey, I saved some of my own voicemails. He's just playing his own Mel Gibson voicemails.
Oh my god! If he goes back and watches the bonus
Koreans.
footage, he's like, "Oh, we took that out." Oh man,
He's making up his own like racial slurs, like ones we've never heard of before.
what do you mean, good googly moogly didn't make the cut? Come on. That was one of my favorites.
That's crazy. Yeah. He's still alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's old as shit.
All of his movies now are basically, you're one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, he just gets to relive his childhood.
He was my childhood.
Was he really?
Yeah, because we didn't have like cable TV. We only had 4 channels, but my dad has all of Clint Eastwood's movies, like all the old westerns. So like,
Damn.
that's what I grew up on.
I grew up on who's the under his chin is only another fist? Chuck Norris.
Chuck
Chuck
Norris,
Oh,
same.
man.
Classic.
All
Chuck
the
Norris.
action.
That's
I
a
grew
Chuck
up on
Norris.
all the action.
What was
dudes.
the show he did? It was
Walker, Texas
Texas
Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grew up with that in Xenon Warrior Princess.
Yeah. Hercules, the legendary journey.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Hercules and Xena. They were.
Hercules and Xena, yeah.
Yeah.
The spin-offs and stuff. Yeah.
Well, they'd cross over
Cross-
sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "That's a big, strong woman." And I was like, "Yes, she is."
Dude, do you remember what was the Spartacus, the show, the HBO show where she was like the wife of the dude from The Mummy, and
That was
he
a
was
great
like
show.
that was a
Still
great
hot.
show.
Yeah.
Still hot. She was like in her
Still
50s
hot.
doing like full frontals.
Did you ever have a weird crush, like movie crush?
Define weird.
Yeah.
'cause-
Jennifer Coolidge was my like. I was
What?
like,
One?
that's
What?
yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Like,
Jennifer Coolidge did something to me.
she
Why
was
am I-
Cinderella story, right? And like
Jennifer Coolidge was in a bunch of stuff,
yeah.
but
Why am I
um,
drawing a blank on Jennifer?
I want
Coolidge?
you make me want a hot dog real bad.
Jennifer
What
Coolidge.
the- oh,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Stifler's
yeah,
mom.
yeah, Stifler's mom. My bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Best in Show.
Yes.
with the old guy.
Yeah, I literally had a whole idea of a spin-off
Yeah.
show for her.
She was like just like the bimbo for
Yeah.
that was your
No, that's literally
Yeah.
that's the character she played. You were supposed to find her hot.
Okay, you want an even worse one?
Yeah.
The mom from Friday.
The mom.
It wasn't the mom. It was
Friday?
the aunt.
the aunt.
Yeah. I think I know you're
I'm
talking
drawing a blank.
Hold on.
I'm drawing the ant from Friday.
Oh yes.
She's nasty.
Yes. The step aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wore like
The
cheetah
step
print.
auntie.
Yeah.
She wore like
Yeah.
cheetah print.
And she was trying to fuck him the whole movie.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know if it was weird, but mine was always Gladiator, the main guy in Gladiator with the
Russell
fuck-
Crowe.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Are you
That's-
not entertained?
That's a dominant dude.
I was like, that's
Yeah.
hot.
That guy. Too bad he said all those things about the Jews.
I choose to not take that information in.
Wait. Was that him or was that Mel Gibson?
Both of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Russell
I
Crowe
didn't know
also
Russell
got
Crowe had
into a
one,
fight
too.
with like an officer.
What is it with Australians hating Jews?
They're kind of racist down there. I don't know if you know that.
Down under?
Yeah, they were a colony of like thieves and murderers.
Oh yeah, no. I'm,
And then we
I'm fully
expect them
aware
to
of
like
that.
grow up amazing.
Well, but that's just wild that they produce like
Yeah.
anti-Jews and Hannah Gadsby.
Do you
You know
know?
what I mean? Like,
They've
what
drawn-
a spectrum!
They've drawn their line in the sand.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Very conscientious.
That feels like the David Stern thing where he's like, or no, Adam. Was it David Stern who owned the Clippers?
No,
No,
David Stern was
not-
the former
he-
commissioner.
Yeah, he's the commissioner.
I know who you're talking about. What's his name?
That guy.
Yeah, I'm bad at names.
Like, you can fuck him, just don't take pictures with
Donald
him.
Sterling.
Yes.
Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
That's the line in the stand. It's like, you can fuck them, you do it, just don't bring them to the game. Where it's just like,
So funny.
it's like, we love trans people, we love gay rights, and this and that, but they're just like, this is about the Jews.
Yeah, behind closed doors, fuck them. Stop taking
Just
pictures.
stop letting
with 'em.
people see it.
Yeah, stop posting it on Instagram.
Yeah.
So
It's fine
funny.
if you do it. Just stop encouraging it.
Yeah. Stop rubbing it in.
That was wild. She just kept recording that guy. But the funny part is, like, I think the NBA just hated him. He was such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
looking for any reason
Because
to
all
get
the
rid of
former
him.
players came out and they were like, thank God, this guy
Yeah.
sucks.
Sucks.
Isn't there a documentary or some show about him?
Dude,
now?
There's a
the
show,
players
yeah.
literally after it came out, they were like, we refuse to play for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
because
we've been saying this.
he treated them like the help. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, that's the weird part, and it's like the same thing as like how you're not supposed to. You're supposed to call it the main bedroom now and not the master bedroom
yeah.
because that came from like slave times.
Oh.
It's the same thing. Why do we still call them team owners?
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They are literally in their brains. They're like, I own these players.
Interesting.
Oh, I never thought
You
of it
want
like
something
that.
crazy?
Yeah,
Wow.
we
I
gotta
went
start
to,
calling them like team trustees or something.
I went to the Biltmore Estate, and this is a gigantic property. It's a mansion. It's one of the first mansions. It is a big, beautiful property. Like, it's so immaculate. And we did this tour. They were showing us all the insides of the house. And they're showing us all the art. And they're showing us all the stuff. And then during the tour, they take you down to where the slave quarters were. But they don't call them slave quarters. And they cleaned them up. It is
They
so
remodeled
wild.
them.
They remodeled them. And they
Jesus.
Gentrify the slave quarters.
they showed you they
There's a
showed you
Starbucks in there
basically
now.
yeah,
Chipotle.
they were down by like where like horse stables were, right? But where they had them and where they had them sectioned off, it showed enough of the actual reality of it while also lying to you, because they showed that the doors only locked from the outside. They showed that there was only like one bed and the bed was this and that and it was on the floor, whatever. But you could tell it was all cleaned up because of course. But they tried to make it look nicer than what it was, and I was like, you pieces of shit. And then that was the quickest part of the tour. They kind of skimmed over that. And you go, this entire thing was built and taken care of by the people that you put in here.
Yeah.
But then you go, look at all the molding. Look at all the chandeliers. Look at
Who
all
would have built all
Yeah.
this? No, we're not talking about that.
Yeah. Who maintained the yard? Chill.
What's wild is when you were talking about like how those quarters were kept near the stables. Dude, some of them, like one of those fucked up things where it's like you guys are lying now. One of those fucked up things is some of them, the way they were designed is you had to shovel shit from the stables through the slave quarters.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you literally had them sleeping in like the
So
fucking
what do you think about that,
sewage
though?
like runoff.
As far as like, because like people like want to almost shun the history, and I disagree with that. I think you should make the history like readily available so we know like how bad it was.
Well, I think the people
Does that
that
make
push back on racism and it doesn't exist, there's equality, this and that, those are the people that deny talking about the past. And you go, because the people that are still upset about this are upset because it's never acknowledged, right? It's like, at least if you acknowledge it and you go, damn, history sucks, let's not repeat it, let's do it, let's make changes, they can at least, interpret that as like you're trying to do better. But being like, oh, everything's fine now, nothing's, it's not how it was. Like,
Yeah.
Still exists.
You have the people that want to tear down the statues. Now, the interesting thing about the statues that they wanted to tear down, which I didn't know this until I researched it, is like all those statues were actually erected during Jim Crow.
so they've just been up.
They
No,
like
just
literally
figuring it out.
like
They
after
they put them up. They weren't even historically accurate. Like they would put up these like generals from the South and stuff, but they weren't put up during the Civil War. They were put
Yeah.
up way after the Civil War to be like, look what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's almost
So-
like rubbing it in.
Well,
it kind of
so-
feels like you should tear them down.
Yeah.
to
Well,
a
so
degree.
there was like after the Civil War, there was that period in the South that was like, what was it like?
Jim Crow.
Well, yes, but
Oh.
also
Redlining?
no, because
The era?
Jim Crow wasn't until like much further after the
Yeah, it was
Civil
like
War.
civil
Because
rights.
there was
and
because
stuff,
there was that period where basically they were under like martial law from the North for a long period of time.
Oh,
And everybody
yeah,
in the
yeah.
North was like, we're watching you.
Yeah.
And basically, as soon as that era ended, they were like, all right, they ain't looking no more. Let's put these statues up and remind the black people who really still run shit.
Damn.
So like people were like, they're erasing our history. And it's like, no, but that's not like, you put that up for like the wrong reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
You weren't honoring them in the time where they were good
No.
people. Not good people, but like you weren't honoring them in the time where that was happening. You honored them after the fact
during civil
Yeah.
rights.
to brag about what happened.
It was during
There are
segregation.
there are no statues of like SS commanders in Germany.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They don't.
Germany is another country that doesn't talk about their history.
well,
And no. Like they go out of their way to be like, we don't talk about our
No, they
history.
don't want to
Right.
talk about
because they remember.
Yeah.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, because it's like we don't want to talk about it because we're taught.
That's a crazy
like,
difference.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like if you move all those Civil War statues to a Civil War, like a museum.
That's
Do
one
you know what I
thing.
mean? Like the Holocaust Museum is in fucking
St. Pete.
yeah,
Yeah.
is in Germany because it's like all of that we put here to remind you how messed up it was.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
you know,
The
did
idea
you know
of,
that
like-
Germany was like one of the few like countries that completely refuted Scientology?
Yeah.
Like they were like, you're not allowed to step foot in this fucking place.
But it's interesting to think like
It's kind of badass.
Yeah, they
like
were
we don't
like-
talk about the past here because everybody is like, well, like they kind of dispute it and they kind of like, well, you know, there's both sides, well, this and that. They don't talk about history there because they all understand. They're like, we fucked up.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, they're all like, hey, let's not talk about it because we
Yeah.
kind of want to move past it because that sucked.
Well, they also
Here,
don't
they're
want
like,
to.
we don't want to talk about it because we don't want to be wrong.
They also don't want to encourage them. They're so on top of that. Like they don't want. They don't like people that are like making movements in their country because they get very worried about that.
Yeah.
Because they're so like malleable.
We're just still in like our period of denial.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like our stages of grief or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's not that long ago.
No,
Yeah, but
here's-
it's-
Isn't that wild?
well,
I
and
was
it's
talking to-
also, it's
sorry.
that my bad.
No,
It's
you're
that meme of like the way American history is taught, and it's the picture of Superman, and it's like the way American history actually was, and it's the Homelander.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like most people don't want to be reminded of how much blood was
Three
spilled.
generations.
But also,
I know.
3 generations.
Yeah.
it's not that long ago.
No, it's not.
But also,
My grandma's grandma
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
was absolutely around during slavery.
We
Germany's
went
kind
on
of
a
Germany's
journey.
kind of wild, dude. So there's other illegal names that you can't name your kid in
Ooh.
Germany.
What?
You want to guess any of them?
Werner.
yeah.
They're not all people names.
Oh.
Jesus.
All right, I'll start with this. You can't name them Batman.
Nice.
How dare you? The Dark Knight.
Is Robin okay?
Oh.
That's right. Oh, you want to raise a sidekick?
Erase.
You can't name them LOL. Can't name them spinach, panties, or blank space. Or Nutella.
Damn.
Well,
What
that was
kind
in
of world are
France.
we
That was
living
in
in?
France.
You can't name your
These
kid.
are just copyrighted like names.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That imagine the DC being like, "Oh, you gonna name your kid Batman? I think the fuck not."
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I am Batman.
We don't want him to have an ego or
You just name him Bruce.
You can't name your kid blank space. Taylor Swift has it copyrighted.
LOL is wild.
LOL is wild. Also, naming your kid LOL, they should just take your baby immediately.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's funny. LOL was actually the only one on that list that I was like, well, technically that could be a name. Because there are people named Lowell. Lowell.
That's
Lol.
a last name.
That's a first name.
What?
Lowell.
Lol?
Yeah, Lowell.
Where
It's like
you've been
British.
doing shows
No.
in Oregon, dude. You got to get up out the Midwest.
No, it's
You gotta-
definitely like an old person name, but it is a name.
I've heard Lowell, yeah.
Yeah.
Lowell.
Oh, that's crazy.
The only
Lol.
time I've heard lol is if someone's trying to say Louisville.
Yeah,
Sounds like
lol.
a drunk person. You know, Lowell.
I
That's my buddy Lowell.
think a name defines a lot about your life.
You think so?
I absolutely. I think when you name a kid, I think it kind of changes their upbringing. I think it changes how people interact with them.
Mm.
It's so much easier to be friends with a Mike. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Yeah.
Like AJ's a great name. Like there's so many ways to, you know, I don't know how to. If you Respucia, you name your kid Respucia, it's a different life.
Yeah.
And I had a bit about how LeBron is the greatest athlete of all time because nobody else has overcome having the name LeBron. Like there isn't another LeBron.
Yeah, you better
And-
be great.
Yeah.
You have to be extraordinary
Yeah.
because it's like a shitty name changes everything. It changes how people treat you. It changes how people like, you know what I mean? It's a weird social thing.
The boy
Yeah.
named Sue shit.
Yeah, you're not going to prom with somebody named. You know what I mean?
You're
Like,
right, though.
you
You're
can't
right.
have no fucked up name.
Why the fuck do I have to produce this ridiculous set of consonants
Your name
to
is a
say your
sound.
name?
Yeah.
You could be the most beautiful, amazing, gorgeous creature on this planet, but if your name's yeah, me and Sarah going to prom. You're like, oh, cool. It's like, yeah, who you
Yeah.
taking?
Yeah.
Bertrand.
I'm gonna go with Beth.
yeah. There's
Also,
so many.
I think like being named like say LeBron, like you naming your kid that and the like having to live up to that name.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened
Having
to
to
my mom.
not be a 30-year, like, fucking garbage man of just like, yeah, my name's LeBron.
Yeah.
Imagine being LeBron James Jr. and everyone's just like, nah, we gonna call you Bronny.
But to be fair, he's born into a situation where he doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
LeBron could have named his kid Durr, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean? He
no, but
would've-
that's what I'm saying. The fact that LeBron is such a unique, iconic name
Yeah.
that he names his son after himself, and we're like, we can't call you that.
I mean,
That's
Michael
icon.
Jordan named his kid Michael Jordan Jr.
I
So-
know.
Yeah.
What was it? George Foreman. Every
Yeah,
one of
dude,
his
a
kids
lot
named
of
George
kids,
Foreman.
a lot of
hilarious.
people
For
named
tax
their
reasons.
kids Mike after Michael Jordan. dude.
Yeah. But it's also just a great name. Michael
Yeah.
Jackson,
Good name.
Mike Tyson. You know,
Iron
like,
Oh,
Mike.
yeah.
like there's so many
Jackson,
good Mikes.
Tyson,
Yeah.
Jordan, Game 6.
Well, I think Michael was like one of the most popular names like ever. It's like that and Muhammad.
Michael's also in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay,
it's like it's always been a
but
thing.
here's
Yeah.
the thing. Do
Arcade.
you remember when the Friday the 13th movies came out and people stopped naming their kids Jason?
Mm.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah.
Michael Jordan was so good at basketball that people were like, "Fuck Michael Myers, we're using it
Yeah,
anyway."
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael. Yeah.
You know, there's never been a Jason that's that good at sports.
What? Jason Williams? White chocolate?
I mean,
Come on, man. Jason Terry? The Jet?
the Jet.
Nah, there's some
There's a lot of
Jasons.
Jasons, but they ain't Mike.
They ain't Mike.
Nobody's
Yeah.
Mike.
Nobody's Mike. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's how
Mike,
good he is.
There's Mike and there's Tom
Tom.
Brady.
Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Petty. Tom. There's some
A
Toms.
lot of Toms.
There's no Brady's. There's just a Brady.
yeah, there's
like-
a Brady.
There's some Toms. There's one
Yeah.
Brady.
Brady's
There
the
was
first
Brady
name.
Quinn, and we were like, "Nah, son, get out."
He gotta go.
Yeah, you're a
Names,
broadcaster.
names change a lot, dude.
Broadcaster Brady. That's
Broadcaster
what we'll call
There's
you.
certain strong names. Adele. You get to go by one
Adele.
name.
Mm-hmm.
If you say
Cher.
Taylor, you know who we talk about.
Yeah.
Taylor.
It's-
Yeah.
There's, man, to be so dominant, you own a name.
Yeah.
There's only so many names.
To be so dominant, you own a name that is a household item, dude. Ice Cube.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Ice Cube. Yeah.
It's pretty good. OJ. You can't even
OJ.
drink orange juice. You gotta start calling orange juice
Yeah.
Orenthal.
Orenthal's a wild name.
Orental's
Orenthal
crazy.
Yeah.
is
But I mean, that's
crazy.
also why he had to go by OJ. Because
Yeah.
you're not gonna be like, that guy's
Yeah.
Orenthal Simpson.
Yeah, nobody's
From the 30 to the 20 to the 20. Yeah, you gotta. It's imagine having a name so bad you have to have a nickname.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, Andrew Douglas Wilkerson Jr.
It's a great name. Andrew
Sound like a
Douglas
general.
is a tough
It
name.
does,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you don't know what side he fights for.
Hey, that's up to you to choose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
They
I know
gave
what
you the
side
choice.
I fight for, Doug. That's why I'm here spitting Jay-Z lyrics with you.
That's great.
Yeah, I sided with Jay. AJ.
It's so funny. Every time I quote Jay-Z, I think of Gerard Carmichael's bit about how Jay-Z meant more to him than Martin Luther King. He's like, I can only recite a couple bars of the I Have a Dream speech. He goes, I know all of the blueprint.
That is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. Have you seen any of his TV shows, reality TV?
Mm-mm.
Describe it in one word, Mike.
Gay.
Gay. That's the only way.
Nice.
Very
It's the
gay.
only way to describe that show.
Hey, he's great, but also very gay. Yeah.
But like, this is the thing. He's newly out as being gay.
Mhm.
So when I tell you the entire show is watching him be newly
he
gay.
came dancing out of the closet, dude.
First episode, he's sucking this Asian dude's toes.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say something else.
Oh no. Oh, he did that too.
Yeah, they didn't show us that
The
part.
second episode is him just cheating on his boyfriend a lot. Like it's just him hooking up with
Yeah.
like 15 dudes in
It's
a
a-
30-minute
I
episode.
feel like if you're putting toes in your mouth, you're not selective about what else is going in there.
It's a very like
I don't suck dick. I only
Yeah.
suck feet.
It's super
Yeah.
honest show. It's very uncomfortable.
Only thing that goes in here are toes and quinoa.
Very gay. No,
Yeah.
it's interesting. We fought. We've gotten in fights about it.
Which I do view as a good product. If
Yeah.
you create a good enough show or movie, it creates uncomfortable conversation. It creates disputes. It creates arguments. It creates opens a dialogue, right? Which I do think that's exactly what he's trying to do.
The show is so legendary. Like the opening episode
Yeah.
is the fucking Clayton Bigsby.
Yeah.
Well, you look no further, brother. You found him.
Do you remember how he introduced that sketch too? He was like, one of my buddies said I set back race relations 50 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, it's brilliant. Yeah.
The second episode where he goes, "Well, we haven't gotten canceled yet." So good.
Well, you know, Cosby tried to get the show taken off air.
Wow.
Yeah.
He called Comedy Central and was like, "If you don't take this for a show, you know."
Shout out to Comedy Central because that was one of the few
Also,
things Comedy
the
Central did.
irony.
The irony.
Yeah.
The irony
Yeah.
of Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you?
Bill Cosby gave him his first like movie role. It was Achu in Men in Tights. Yeah, not nuts.
It's even crazier to look back and go, "Oh, he was literally labeled Pilot Boy," because he shot so many pilots and so many TV shows and so many things that just never got picked up, never went anywhere, and you don't get that many chances in the industry. So like everybody was like, "Oh, you're about to get cooked. Like you're almost out of here." You like if he would have did a couple more things and they'd not have gone. If he didn't have stand up, he'd have been a nobody. We could have lost out on
Do
the
you
GOAT.
remember Chris D'Elia? Like his early television?
Oh,
Same
you mean
thing.
before Bieber said he was his favorite comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how like Whitney got canceled.
Yeah.
That Undateable show got canceled.
It's very interesting how some of the greatest idolized people of their profession were this close to not being known. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. If he never pursued basketball, we don't have Michael Jordan. Kanye West almost died at a traffic light. We would have never got College Dropout.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many. Tom Brady was picked 199, was never supposed to see the field. Drew Bledsoe gets hurt.
Yeah.
Like so
Yeah.
many things are one thing away from never
Kurt
having.
Warner.
Yeah, it was a grocery
Bagging
bagger.
groceries.
Yeah. Was he
So
in the Arena
Gets a
Football
chance
League,
to come
right?
back. Yeah.
He was in the Arena Football League.
Yep.
But even Kurt Warner, right? I respect Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner is still not a top 15. I'm
Yeah.
saying like we would have lost out.
Is it?
Jay-Z, and this one's a little deeper. Jay-Z's mom's gay. Jay-Z's mom only had sex with a man because it wasn't allowed to be gay at that time. If Jay-Z's mom got to actually love who she wanted to love and just be a gay woman, we never get Jay-Z,
Never get
one of the
Jay-Z.
best rappers of all time. We never get one of the best basketball players of all time. We never get the greatest quarterback of all time. We don't get one of the best producer rappers of all time in Kanye. Like, everything was one thing away.
Dude, yeah. Lil Wayne almost dies as a teenager.
Almost accidentally shoots himself.
Accidentally shoots himself. Before that, he got signed because he would call Birdman's phone every day and freestyle into his voice messages. If he blocks that number,
Yeah. That's insane.
What is it? Isn't the butterfly effect?
butterfly effect.
Butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Whoa. Terrifying. Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, it's with so many things, dude. So many things are one difference make away of like that person never having existed. Mike Tyson only started boxing because he was being bullied. If he doesn't get bullied, Mike Tyson's a different person. Mike Tyson
He was
didn't want to
homeless.
fight. He fought his way out of poverty.
He
What
was
about
homeless.
Sylvester Stallone? Wasn't he also?
Yet fought to produce his own movie.
Yeah.
If nobody wanted Rocky,
Did you guys see that documentary on him, The Sly?
Not yet, no.
You want to get pumped up and be like, if you ever don't believe in yourself, watch that.
Okay.
Because the whole industry was like, no, you're never. He
Because
was.
he was doing porn. He was doing like adult films, wasn't he?
Oh, I didn't
Well,
know
he was
that.
also written off as like a thug. Like they were like you're just not ever gonna be a lead. You're a henchman at best. And he started writing his own stuff. He wrote the movies that he wanted to be in.
Danny Trejo.
Danny
Trejo's
Trejo.
another one.
Yeah.
Dude, his
so
book
many.
is so wild, and it's a good book if you read it. Do not listen to the audio.
Does he do the audio?
It does like
Crazy.
8 words a minute, dog. It is.
That's rough. That's hilarious.
It's just it takes like 11 hours. It's a 3-hour book, dude. It's
J.K.
That's so
Rowling.
funny.
J.K.
Yeah,
Rowling
yeah. Homeless.
writes Harry Potter on a napkin.
Crazy.
Isn't that nuts? It
Yeah.
takes one thing. Imagine that napkin gets wet. Imagine you don't ever get to pitch this idea.
Yeah.
Who else? Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Even Bill Gates. Bill
Garage.
Gates finessed. My teacher told me this in like middle school of how Bill Gates did what he did. And it was such a cold finesse of him not having the money to buy something that he needed to be able to get the brand moving forward, lied about having the money, and was able to basically sell this stock that he didn't actually own to get this money to buy the actual stock, and then be able to do it. It was such like a bet on yourself, believe in this, and take the chance.
Yeah.
If he lies to this and doesn't get to buy this, he's fucked. We never get Apple. We never or Microsoft. Like,
Microsoft. He's also an interesting guy. Like his parents were pretty wealthy, and they invested heavily into him. But like, he was also known for being like a fucking like he was the first guy to like seek and destroy in that industry, where he would just find companies and just destroy them. Like he was
Like hostile takeover shit.
big time. Yeah, he would acquire or destroy, seek and destroy, and then like he also stole the keyboard and mouse from a Japanese company. Like he straight up ripped it right off from underneath him. Yeah. Like before, it was just not the key, like the desktop. Like, desktop, like the actual mouse and desktop. He stole that from a Japanese company.
Doug, Pixar. There's so many wild things like in like Pixar. They start as like a brain trust at a college, like to develop like computer
pivot.
animation.
Yeah.
They get sold by the college. The college sells them for profit to George Lucas, Industrial Light and Magic, and he's just wants to use them to make special effects. And they're like, we want to make movies, and he's like, shut up.
Yeah.
So they finally are able to, they get bought by Steve Jobs, and they're like, what do we do now? They're like, start recruiting people from Disney. And at that time, Disney's like animation department was so they had like such a cut and paste process that if you didn't fit in that process, they're like, get the fuck out. And so they rejected a bunch of original ideas, and Pixar scooped those people up.
Yeah.
wow.
Halo.
And
Also,
Halo.
Tim
Halo's-
Burton.
Halo
Tim
started.
Tim Burton started in
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
animations.
Yeah,
and they were
yeah.
like,
You're not Disney material.
He wasn't.
I know.
He
Yeah.
wasn't. Yeah, he was
But-
strange.
that
30
also
years
feels
later,
like-
he's making fucking Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Tim Robinson, Shane Gillis. Tim
Yeah,
Robinson,
yeah, yeah.
right? Where you go, oh,
SNL.
these sketches don't fit SNL. And you go, they don't. But you know what? They're incredible.
Yeah,
They're
they
brilliant.
don't fit SNL because they're too good for SNL.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they're not the same thing.
No, they're not.
But, like, SNL would have been smarter. The thing is you should be able to recognize that something isn't for what you do and recognize that it has a lane.
It has an audience.
The smartest thing for them to do, Lorne Michaels, I understand he's built this incredible this product, but he should be smart enough to go, and I know he's not as hands-on as to dictate all these things, but if you go, we're hiring this person because they're talented, and you go, their sketches don't fit this and that, I'd be like, what kind of sketches? Right? And then you see them and you go, oh no, this would do good over here. I'd find a way to invest in over here and figure out how to turn what you can't do for us into something else. I'm not just going to go do that over there by your lonesome and then create a multi-million-dollar thing that I have nothing to do with.
Shane was a bit different though, right? Because he got canceled for like the podcast.
Yeah, but I'd find a way to keep that guy in the network.
Yeah.
Even though like you get him off the network because you
so
can't.
you're not a cast member, but you're a writer.
Yeah, I
Something
mean they
like
couldn't even
that.
keep him on
Yeah.
as a writer. I wouldn't have him near SNL, but I'd have him over here. Almost like I wouldn't say like a minor league team, but I would have you
Like a
in
longer
my
term
arsenal.
investment.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense not to. It would be like, because once you freed him, you lost a guy.
Yeah.
You lost a guy.
He's great.
You know what I mean? It's like
But I think he was better off to
he
get
is
To be
great.
lost.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he didn't need them at all.
No.
They need him. They are a dying brand.
Yeah,
Like,
SNL's a good one.
It's
But-
just too overly curated at this point.
Well,
But
nobody's
SNL 's
watching TV, so what
Yeah.
they're hoping for is that one of the sketches goes viral, and it's like you're doing it backwards now. Whereas like the show used to be the catalyst. The show isn't the catalyst anymore. The clips are the catalyst because the clips make people go back and the guest, right? So if you have a good guest, people will tune into SNL. That's the only time people watch. Who is the guest? What is their monologue? And then they look for the highlights on YouTube.
Yep.
That is it. Nobody's sitting down and watching.
But also SNL's been through like eras where like they were unwatchable in the
Yeah.
past too.
Oh, yeah.
Like they had like 10 years where like people were just like, this is the worst.
It's been a while since they've created a guy. They used to
Yeah.
create guys.
Yeah.
Like they used
Will
to
Ferrell,
Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Like they had.
Yeah.
Chris Farley.
Farley, yeah.
They
Farley.
created people.
You know they never wrote for Farley?
The last guy that they had was Keenan.
Yeah.
That's their last guy, and he'll die there.
Yeah.
Like that's once he leaves, they're done. And he talked about leaving. He was gonna leave soon, and they were like, please don't.
Yeah, he's great.
They have to give him anything he wants.
Yeah.
He could look at Lorne Michaels and go, "Let me fuck your wife," and Lorne would go,
All right.
"All right."
Does that work for you?
Yes. Like right now? You do it?
You can fuck her, but just don't post
Don't
pictures
post
with
it.
her.
Stop posting online. You can
Don't
fuck
tell
her.
about it.
You can fuck her, but just don't post it online. Thank you. Yes. Lord Michael.
Don't bring it to the games. Don't bring it to the taping.
Yeah. Don't drive into 30 Rock together.
It's gonna be a sketch. I know it.
Shit.
Oh, we're never getting
Oh my
SNL.
gosh.
Oh,
What was that?
We don't want it. We would die there.
So we're never getting SNL now.
I mean, you've worked on like a big sketch show. Well, live.
Well, and out,
Show.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not what you think it is. I want to be in a writer's room for a show that like that you can write to and just believe in the direction of like. While and out, there's no direction. It's every episode is just its own
It's
chaos.
improv. It's,
Yeah, it's its own thing, right? But like, I want to write to like The Bear or like something intricate.
Yeah.
I love a path. I love the idea of a character arc. I love plot. Like Dave. Dave is about, loosely based on his life, but you go, yeah, but there's so many fun hijinks that you can incorporate in this because
Atlanta.
you are famous. Yeah.
Oh, Atlanta's
And-
great. Yeah.
Which is Atlanta's very interesting because he's created a whole different world where he's not the guy, but he's the main character. So it's like the whole thing is Paperboy, right? But it's like you're the manager, but it's also about your life and this and that. But like he's doing it from a not him perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very deep.
Just
But
like
yeah,
intricate sketches, really.
writing on those shows sounds so fun. Like just to sit down and just have good ideas and just find a path for them to all work.
That's why I I have a bunch of ideas for like movies and shows like things like that where it's like, okay, I have this idea and I just want to take this idea from start to finish, create a full circle, and then put that circle down and start a new one.
I have 2 movies that I want to do so bad, but I refuse to give them to anyone else. As far as like, because especially when you produce your first thing, they don't want you a part of it because you haven't proven anything and they'd rather just take your good idea, give you the money for it, and then they go do it how they want to do it. But my idea, I want to make this because I know what it can do, and I want to make it because I've felt this for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to make this.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it to you for you to make it and fuck it up.
Also,
That's
no one
Rocky.
can play me better than me.
Exactly. Well, I don't
Yeah.
even, I
Or
put
not
myself,
me, but like in that you put yourself in the character's position when you're writing it and creating it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wrote this for me. Nobody else can play me like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of them I'd put myself in. I wouldn't be the lead or this and that because I know what it takes to be the lead and I know what it takes to be the other guy. But like, I'd find a way to put myself in it. Like just because I know like a cool little extra thing or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
I just would want full creative control over like, this is what this would happen. This is how I imagine it looking. I hate the idea of them being like, no, we see your vision. They buy it off of you and you have no control over anything.
I hate that.
Yuck.
It makes my like we've had talks with like some production companies and stuff for like this other idea for like a docuseries I want to do about comics. And like they're like on some of them like they'll start like giving ideas back and being like, oh, it could be like this, or they'll like oh, it's like this thing, and every time it's just like it
You're like,
it
no.
It's also
breaks.
Makes your
it's-
brain melt.
Yeah, because it's like no,
It's
no.
usually the uncreative saying it too.
Exactly.
And you're like,
But that's what they do though.
I know.
That's why they buy things and they don't create things, right? So it's the exact same reason why a new athlete gets compared to a previous athlete. Where you go, Bronny James, his ceiling's Kevin Martin, right? Where you go, just let him be what he's gonna be. But you go, this guy, he plays kind of like this guy. He reminds me of this guy.
Yeah.
And it's the only way for people to wrap their head around what somebody's ceiling or floor is, because otherwise everybody is their own intangible. Right? So you go, your movie, what is it based on? Okay, so it's kind of like Full House meets this thing, and you go, no, it's exactly how I wrote it. That's how it's this.
Yeah.
But if you want to make a comparison because you have to, it would be like this meets this.
It just makes it easier to present too. It's like we all naturally, as humans, we put things in boxes.
That's why they put it on movies, like the trailer where it goes from the producers of Saw and Gridiron Gang, and you go, I like those movies.
But
Let's
to be fair, you just did it with that one Snowfall, right? Where you called it the black.
But
all
immediately you knew what it could be about.
It's a nutshell description.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You do that because then it gets people intrigued.
Yeah.
Because then you describe it in a way where you go, here's two things that I know you like.
Right.
It's like these.
But I can only imagine, like, if it's your baby and somebody goes, yeah, it's like Black Breaking Bad, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Like, it's not like
No,
that.
well, that's what's worse is when you break it down like that for them. It's like, I'm gonna put it in your language for you,
Right.
and then you try and make it something else.
Yeah.
Like the docuseries, I was like comparing it to sports, right? Because I was like podcasts are like sports radio and like sports talk shows. Like people are listening, seeing what people are talking about, getting their current events. But I was like, but then like on Netflix, you have like or HBO, you have like Hard Knocks. You get an in-depth look at who the upcoming players are
Yeah.
and their behind their personal lives and what they're going through.
I think the way you were telling it to me was closer to how they're doing quarterback and receiver.
So those are the
Yeah.
other two shows that I
Did
like
you-
referenced.
Did
I was
you
like,
watch the tennis one?
I haven't watched the tennis
The
one.
tennis one's incredible.
Nice.
Really?
It's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Okay.
It's similarly the same thing, but like the coolest part about it is that I watch football, watch basketball, I watch all these sports, and I watch tennis too, but less.
Yeah.
And so when you watch a docuseries about something that you don't watch as much, it makes it so much cooler, right? Because you get an actual look at, like, I know what Justin Jefferson goes through. Even though I don't do it, I am such a football nerd where
Right.
I go, oh, he's saying all these things. This happens on the field. This happens off the field. I can assume all of this. But when you watch a tennis thing and you're not all the way up on tennis all the time, you go, I didn't even know that.
Mhm.
I didn't know that as soon as they lose a tournament, they have no time off. They just go to another tournament. They just get to that
What?
tournament a little early.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
And they're
Because
just training in
it's
place
year-round.
wherever they're at. Yeah.
it's year round. So like it's actually absolutely brilliant. Tennis is so beautiful because if you lose the tournament, say it's a 7-day tournament, you lose on day 3. You then have a 4-day gap of you having nothing else to do because you lost, right? You plan to be there the whole time because you plan to win the tournament. But if you have 4 days off, instead of just taking those 4 days, they then get on a flight and go to where the next tournament is. So if the next one's in Boise, they get to Boise 4 days early, and then now they're just prepping, they're game planning. And then they're going, okay, XYZ, these people are all going to be in this tournament. This is how I play this person. This is how I play this person, because it's a lottery. It's a random. But then you're working on, okay, I lost because my serve. I lost because of this. It's so cool how, like, you can't really do that in other sports. So like football, you got your 17 weeks of actual season. You got playoffs. But if your team sucks and you're 4-12 and you know you're not making the playoffs, you're kind of phoning it in until the next season because you're still active, you're still working, but you go, what are we playing for? Not making the playoffs, and then we have a whole nother year until I get to actually play competitive football again.
Yeah.
Tennis, every tournament, you go, next week is a different thing. Next week is more competitive. Next week is this guy. It's beautiful.
Crazy.
That's wild. I've got 2 specials on my YouTube now, and I try to direct everybody there. Because if you're going to my YouTube and you're watching
You're
a
a
whole
fan
special, you're a fan. You're gonna look for links. You're gonna see if I'm gonna be in your city, all of those kinds of things. But it doesn't change. To me, it doesn't change the content.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like if I have something at a show, somebody has like a funny laugh, and we have a cool engagement, I'm like,
That's it.
people are gonna like it regardless of whether they know me or they don't know me. Sometimes with things like that, like if I don't even mention autism in the clip, some people are gonna be like, he's funny, what's his deal? And they'll look for themselves.
Right.
Or they'll go into the comments and be like, oh, what's his deal?
Yeah. I think you want the more engaging stuff versus like the broad based. Because I mean, my buddy had a clip that go viral. It hit 10 million views, and it was a sketch, and it was a funny sketch. He got like 3 followers from it, and it was because it was like they first off they had nothing to attach themselves to. It was a vague clip. Like the rest of his Instagram is pretty much blank, so they have nothing to really sink their teeth into.
This is what's so interesting. He has 779,000 followers on Facebook, right? But his videos aren't doing great. Some of them, 15K, 17K, 14K, 20K, 34, 17, 13, 205. So he
doesn't always hit.
Yeah, a lot of these aren't hits.
But
And
I think that those 17,000 people though are probably people that would come to the show because they watch the longer clip. I think that's proven. Like I think the shorter the clip, though, I think the more viral potential it has. But I think the less like real like pull it has. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
If you watch a 10-minute video, you're locked in. You fucking you believe in this guy.
Yeah.
If you watch a 30-second clip, I mean, you can watch 30 seconds and not even care about the person. You know, I've watched so many 30-second clips that I'm like, did not follow that person. You know?
Yeah.
did not care. But if
He
I'm
had
locked into a 10-minute video, I'm probably gonna follow you after.
He had a crazy boom a month ago.
Yeah.
Where everything was going nuts. 895, 612, 210, 169,
Yeah.
116. This is the boom. This is what builds everything. But like, it's just throwing shit at a wall.
Dude, same thing. I had a huge boom a couple months ago. If you look at my stuff now, it's down, and I'm
The algorithm
trying to-
changed, though, I'm telling you.
Yep.
A lot of people have been noting it, and like I even told Mark Norman about it, and he was kind of like taken it back. But I was like, you probably should start posting longer form stuff in just to your followers, because those guys will kind of go to bat for you. Like they already follow you. They followed you for months or if years now, but they're gonna go and tell all their friends about you, versus the guy who just saw you and goes, share. Like my buddy might appreciate this joke.
Have you clipped and put the special out?
The special's out. I haven't clipped it. I was literally just sitting here thinking about that, and as he was explaining this,
It's
I was like,
so much content.
I should square clip my whole and put it out as like longer Instagram videos.
Also, I've noticed that the more quality the video and the audio is, like it's just more engaging.
How
Oh,
long?
yeah.
How long has it been out?
2 months.
So
I put
this
it out
is-
June 2nd. So
And
less
you
than
haven't
2
clipped
months.
it. So this is the thing. When
I
we
haven't
when we
clipped it.
put ours out, I am so excited to clip it because you have months of content. So I'm still putting out the dry bar, and every time I put out a dry bar clip, they go. They continue to go. I think they'll always go
It's
because
quality.
because
Yeah.
people, they don't get sick of it as long as you don't just bombard them with the same thing over and over and over. If I post the same clip twice a year, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Because it's a minute out of their day where they're just scrolling and they go, oh, I like this joke. It's the same thing as if you see a Chappelle joke. If I see gun store, liquor store, gun store, where are you taking me? I'll watch that
Oh,
twice a week for the rest of my life. And no part of me would be like, this again?
Yeah.
And it's weird to think that people watch your content like that, but like I overthink it of like, oh, they're gonna know that I posted this again. But if you go back and see when I posted it, it was like 2022.
Yeah.
So, but
Could
every
be.
time you post it, it goes and you get a couple thousand followers from it, and that's the goal. So we've gotten to a point now where we're like, oh, we'll post another dry bar clip like once a week. Let that do between 200 and 600K, gain a couple thousand followers off of it, and then give them new stuff, podcast stuff, this stuff. So
There's something there.
I was just very curious about like, because when we do clip up the new special, I'm hoping that each clip does the numbers that the dry bar does because it looks good, sounds good, and it's better content. It's just,
I think that has a lot to do with it. I really do, because it's like sound is unforgivable. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
You can fuck up the video a little bit. You cannot fuck up sound. Sound is like it's literally like
Yeah, it can be a little dark, a little grainy, but you can't fuck up the sound.
no, the sound is everything.
I also think the clips push people to go watch the full special.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
clipping it up and putting out longer things
Yeah.
is super.
No, I put out a couple clips from it, and it's 229K in like 6 weeks.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's
Yeah.
great.
The other one is
Almost 5, right? Or over 5.
almost 489,000 3 months ago.
Damn. That's tight.
And we were just talking earlier because you were talking about wanting to direct a special, and I'm trying to film another one in like September.
Where are you filming?
I think Zanies.
Yeah, the lab,
No, I think main room.
main room. Sick.
Yeah,
I wish I had
talking
like
about
I wish I had the production team to film a special.
I love taping in small rooms.
Yes.
I love a small room. I would probably tape the lab.
I did the Captain Autism one. I did in creative coastal creative.
I was there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I know. Fuck, but that was just too big. That was just too big. I feel like it's too high ceilings. Like it didn't sound or feel the way I like going. Once we started editing it, I was like, the content is good, but there's things about it I don't like, and I wish I could do over.
I'd love to
feel
get your opinion on mine.
Huh?
I'd love to. I want to show it
Absolutely.
to you and just get a genuine opinion of
Of
it.
course,
Yeah.
of course.
We're on the 5th edit of it now, and just trimming. We cut it down from like 48 to 31. So, yeah, we just cut out a new bit and worked on some transitions and stuff, and we're trying to finalize it before we send it to the audio guy to finalize the touches and then put intro outro on it. But yeah.
Yeah, I love I think every comic should have a club special. Not every special should be in a club. I think every comic should have a club special.
Yeah.
Just something shot in an intimate setting Like I talked about, but I loved Ray Romano's special. I loved it. It was so fucking good. And
funny because he told me, because the visuals that I wanted for this one, he was like, watch Ray Romano's. And I was like, I didn't grow up on Ray Romano. Ray Romano's funny. I respect him. But I was like, whatever. So I had it on. I was folding laundry. I had it on in the background. I'm watching the first half of it. And I go, he's Ray Romano. He's good. He's a good comic, right? But he does 2 different seller sets in the night. So the first set, I'm like, he's good. I'm folding laundry. I was like, that's funny. That's cool. That second set, when he gets to the second club, bruh,
Cooks.
this motherfucker unsheathed the sword, just went up there, bum, 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 bum.
He got
I
to the
stopped
second one, he's
folding
like,
laundry.
I'm loose now.
He's
I
very
stopped
loose.
folding the laundry, and I was like, oh, this bitch is cold.
Yeah.
I was like, Ray Romano's a dog. Like, I watched that second set, and I go, oh, you just had to knock a little dust off. Like,
Dude, I got to see him live in person. I did the Punchline in Atlanta. I was featuring for the guy that hosts American Ninja Warrior.
whoa.
I can't remember his Anyway,
Yeah.
I can't remember because fucking Ray Romano. Because I was featuring, and they told me, like, they called me during the day on Saturday, and they're like, hey, we need you to do like less time on the shows tonight because we have like a special guest coming, like a drop in. And I was like, oh, cool, who? And they're like, we can't tell you. And then I got there, and fucking Ray Romano walked into the green room, and I was like,
That's sick.
I heard he's cool as hell
he's
too.
so cool.
Yeah.
He was like, he talked to the headliner for like a minute or two, and then he was like, are you the feature comedian tonight? And I was like, yes, sir. Like, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, hey, like,
Yes, sir, to a comedian is crazy.
Yeah.
But like, I would have done
yes,
that.
sir. And then he was like, hey, I'm sorry I'm taking up some of your time tonight. And I
Bro,
was like,
that's cool.
motherfucker,
Holy
what?
shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I love
Coolest interaction I've ever had was I had a spot in the belly room at the Comedy Store, so of course I'm a nerd, and I got there like 2 hours early. I'm just like in the green room. Nobody's there because nobody gets there until 10 minutes before their set. So like I'm in the green room just being like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, is that. And I'm kind of on my phone and in my notes and stuff. And Bill Burr pokes his head in and just trying to see like he was looking for somebody. He pokes his head in, I see him, and I'm like, because I'm the only person in there, he feels obligated to be like, hey. So he comes up and he's like, hey man, I'm Bill. I was like, like, yeah, the fuck you are.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm Cam. He goes, yeah, good to meet you. All right, I'm gonna head out. And then like he like just went to go find whoever he went to find. But I was like, to be of that stature to where like anybody who does comedy remotely,
Bill Burr.
we know you.
Yeah.
It'd be the idea of LeBron being like, hey, I'm LeBron.
Yeah.
You're like, it's humble of you to do that, but I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want to get to the point where I know. That's the goal.
That is, yeah, you're right. That is the goal.
Yeah.
I
For
pissed
somebody
off.
like, because then you feel good to be like, I'm AJ. And people are like, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I know who you are. Like, that's so dope.
I pissed off Rob Schneider one time.
I think Rob Schneider pissed off Rob Schneider, dude.
Yes. He's a nightmare. But I was the door guy at McCurdy's, the club down in Sarasota, and like I had to walk into the bathroom. And we have a private bathroom, but it's pink because they painted it pink for like breast cancer awareness. And I was like, yeah, it's the bathroom. And he walked in and he was like, this is a girl's bathroom. And I was like, oh, I'm like, no, it's like pink for breast cancer. And as I'm saying it, I'm like, it's a girl's bathroom. You know what I mean? And he was like, this isn't it. And I was like, I'm like, come on. You
Just
can
go to the
do
bathroom.
it.
Come on.
I couldn't help myself. And he just stopped and just looked at me. And I was like, there's another one right over here if you want to go this way.
all night
I was
long.
not thrilled at all.
But
He was-
you have to know that just
That's who you
exists
are.
in the
That's who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
when I
Like,
tell you I folded under the pressure, he just stared at me. I was like,
I would have doubled down. You can do
I
it.
do it all night long. He was very not happy with it.
That's so good. In the moment, I wouldn't even have thought of that.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm
Oh,
Rob
dude.
Schneider and somebody pulls that line out of like, you can do it, I'd be like, I would have went nuts.
You know how when you can see the words leaving your mouth and you're like, no. Like, trying to pull
every
back.
argument I've ever had with a girlfriend. Where you're like, you say like a snarky thing, and you're like, no, this
Why
is gonna ruin
don't-
the next 4 hours.
I
was
fucked.
winning.
You actually
I
reached
was
for
winning.
it. Yeah, and you actually reach for it too.
Bro.
You reach your hand out, and you're like, "This is why those R&B guys do it." I understand now.
That's hilarious. It's like, get the words back.
Yeah.
One of the worst. I was in an argument and I was cooking. I was in the right, winning, and I ironically used bitch. It wasn't directed at her at all. But bitch was used, and she found her out, dude. She was like, "Oh, really? I'm a bitch?" And I was like, "It's not what I said. I didn't say you were a bitch." I was like, this and that. And then it was over from there. I was like, how did I just go? I was up 30. I was up 30 at the half, and you just came back, dude. I fucking Atlanta Falcons versus the Patriots.
Oh,
I just
Bro.
blew it. And I was like, I was winning.
Davey
Yeah.
told me a bar that he says, he goes, "You're not crazy. Why are you acting this way?"
Whoa.
And I'm like, that's a Jedi mind trick.
I hear what you're saying, but even using the word crazy,
I know.
too close.
But that's so brilliant to be like, I didn't technically call you crazy. You're not crazy. Why are you acting this way?
To ask a woman why they're acting a certain way.
Davey's single. I get it. I'm just saying, like, it
Bold
blew my mind.
strategy.
I'm like,
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
It never
It
pays
never
off.
pays off.
yeah, it's
No.
just,
Ever.
Dude, we had a moment yesterday where I said a thing and it was a little thing and it spiraled into a big thing because the secondary thing was worse than the first thing. And I was like, no!
yep.
I was just so tired. I was like, that's not how I meant it. It was just getting cooked for the next 2 hours. I'm just being like, I'm so sorry. That's not what I meant. I said it the wrong way. I shouldn't have. The apology tour I went on was crazy.
Dude, if a
You're
guy
right. I'm wrong. I'm.
You ever be wrong in an argument and then you bring up like cool shit you did that day? Or you be like, you remember when I got you coffee? I'm like, I'm not who I was in that moment. You know, when
Yeah.
I like rubbed your back.
Yeah, remember that guy. That guy. is
that
the one
that
you love.
guy, that's me. You know,
Yeah.
The one
You
that said relax. That's not
that's
the guy.
not me. I didn't mean relax. I'm
Yeah.
tired.
The one that told you to calm down? No,
No.
he's dead now.
That guy.
Yeah.
killed him.
Yeah.
The guy who said you were crazy, he don't exist no more.
Yeah.
He dead.
Yeah, I killed him in my
Yeah.
conscience.
for you.
I showed him
Yeah,
how crazy I was.
I buried him deep down.
Yeah, dude, if a guy told me that I wasn't crazy, like if that Davy line got used on me, I was like, oh, you don't think I'm crazy?
Oh shit!
Let
See?
me tell you that I am crazy.
Backfired. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not crazy. Why are you acting this
You
way?
don't think a bitch is
See, I heard that
crazy?
and I was like, that's brilliant. And now I'm like, I see all the holes in it now. I'm like, oof.
So many holes.
Yeah.
Should
Yeah,
we put
you
a
tried
bow
to
on this?
reverse psychology and they pulled the
Yeah.
reverse right back at you.
Oh,
Crazy.
dude, yeah, the Uno reverse.
Yeah.
Oh, you
draw four.
Man, I'm 30 years old and I'm figuring out how to lose an argument by less. If that makes sense, you know what I mean. You'll never win, but you'll lose by less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
If
not
you-
trying
if you
to
can-
win. I'm just trying to shave some points.
Yeah,
dude.
if you can take this
I'm
argument
just trying to
overtime,
fuck up the spread.
trying to
dude.
cover the spread.
I'm trying to cover the spread.
I can't win this argument, but I can cover the spread.
Yo,
I can lose
that's
by
great.
4, and I'll cover. That's so good. Yeah, if I lose by a back rub, I won. You know, all I gotta do is pour you a hot bubble bath, and I'm no longer a piece of shit.
All right, we gotta promote these shows.
Yes.
All right, how do we do this? I'm not good.
Where are
at
you guys
this.
heading?
What a fun question. How do we do this? We don't know. We've never done this. We're co-headlining a bunch of shows together.
That is a good way to plug it.
Yeah.
About being like, hey, you guys should come see us in Ohio. We haven't done this before. Come see us do this for the first
For the
time.
first time.
You remember your first time, AJ?
Now squeal like a piggy. What?
Columbus.
Oh god. No, we are 5 shows in Ohio. Fucking
Look into the camera.
Yeah, you know them better than I do. I can name them out of order.
in order. Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, Cambridge, Ohio, Canton, Ohio, and Toledo, Ohio. July 25th through 28th. Come see us both.
I also didn't know there was this many cities in Ohio.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Basically, somebody's like, come to Ohio. We are. They're like, what part? All of it. What part you live in? We will be there.
Yeah.
There isn't a single part where we're not close to
Like
it.
Florida is the Sunshine State, and Ohio is just the metropolis state.
The
Yeah.
dusty
We got all
state,
the
the crusty, musty Ohio.
Sandusky. The only place in Ohio we aren't going.
That's great. It is fun to be like if somebody's like, I'm coming to Florida, you're like, what part? You're like, Miami. You're like, that's 4 hours away. But you go, what part of Ohio? We'll be there.
Yeah.
It's at some point.
Coming
What
all
part
over
of Ohio? Yep.
Yep. We there.
If people want to pull up, where can they get tickets?
My website, ajwilkerson.com. My link is in my bio on my social medias. Your
My website, cambertrand.com.
Look at
Go to our names.
Yeah, Google my name.
But it's also funny when people are like, how can they find tickets? People know how to find tickets.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I mean?
aren't
Like,
hard to
you think
find.
so? It'd be funny. The amount of people who are like, I can't find tickets. I'm not coming. But it's like, yeah, the idea of like, I couldn't Google it. If you just Google this person, this city, the thing
Doug,
should.
You don't even have to Google it. It's so easy. You could just be like, "Hey Siri."
Oh yeah. Hey Siri, when are they coming to Ohio? Siri's like, what part?
Let me try that actually. Hey Siri. AJ Wilkerson stand-up comedy tickets, Ohio.
Okay, I found this.
Get tickets.
Oh, sick.
AJ Wilkerson.
Adge.
Literally,
Adge.
Aj.
literally
Adge.
my website, the website for the Columbus Funny Bone. My website again.
Sick.
Yeah, you don't even gotta Google. You could just ask Siri.
Yeah, but don't do it with my name. It'll show you my booty hole. Cam Bertrand tickets, and it's like wrong show.
Oh,
All right. I think that we promoted it.
Die.
promoted the hell out of them.
We can do
shows.
another thing at the mothership later.
I'm just doing the crew show.
So am I. Which
Yeah,
one are you on? 8 o'clock?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. We'll be there.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for guys for doing this. This was fun as hell.
Titties.
Did
Oh,
3
yeah.
hours.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was like 2.5 hours.
Go. I'm saying.
We were
Covered a lot.
cooking.
1 hour and 57 minutes.
Yeah.
I was
Let's
close.
just go to 2.
Dude.
Let's
An
just
extra 2.5 minutes.
even numbers. Come on.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna work. I just finished.
Yeah.
Now you're sleepy.
We're done.
Yeah.
Take a nap.
What in Tardation?